So, 27th of January 2021. Messages, Spirit, please. What do we need to know? Coming into the full moon tomorrow. Today's card is the Hermit. It's like the Buddha card, really. It's about someone that leaves everything they have behind to find themselves. Knowing that their lives have no meaning in financial or material things. There's something more important. Buddha was a prince whose teacher took him behind the walls of the palace, and he saw the misery of the everyday people. And though he grew up and married and had children, he never really forgot the misery of the people outside. And it led him in the end to leave his family with all that they needed and go out to help others, because he couldn't live his life enjoying the riches, knowing that others didn't have them. So it's about thinking of things more important than material. Wow, leaving it late again, aren't they? And there it is. So, nothing can grow in barren lands. There's no abundance. There's no happiness. There's no gaiety. it's arguments with a woman. For some, it's mothers, mother-in-laws, mothers of your children. It's connected to November the 11th, the military, poppies. But it's about somebody not growing as a person, staying as they are because it's more comfortable. Those born on the 3rd or the 30th, Mercury retrograde, living or past, if your diary and address, massively important in a negative way. It can be failed pregnancies, and if that's the case, I'm really sorry. There is a need to stay positive. You're manifesting your own reality, and something or someone new may have entered your life or will enter your life. Medical matters will be solved, but it's about all 4 aces: love, money, intellect, and practicality. You have all the tools you need to go forward to a new life. If it's a person, it's someone that works with discs, blades, cups, or wood. And I've told you how many different forms, like it could be anything from an hairdresser to a surgeon. So blades is obviously any type of cutting device. Discs are coins, plates, etc. Wood can be joiners, anything, wood carvers, anything. And cups can be anybody that works with vessels of some type. But it is a very medical oriented card, this one, and about communications because it's Mercury. And as I said, Mercury retrograde is on the 30th. So possibly Spirit are trying to tell us about Mercury retrograde. It's Gemini energy, it's about communications and siblings, but it's about being positive. Those born on the 1st or the 28th, which is the new moon, the full moon, massively important in a positive way. Scorpio energy. Something ends so something new can begin. So hopefully this time of lack of growth ends with the new beginning. Scorpio energy rules the reproductive organs, so the pregnancy could be involved, and shared resources. So if that happens, you stay positive and you end this situation and come out the other side stronger. There will be lasting success, but you have to be patient. This is the negative side of the Hermit. It can be hospital doors. It can be problems with the intestines and the abdomen. It's not listening to your gut instinct or spirit. And it's doing the opposite of what Buddha did and staying where it's comfortable, which is what I said, isn't it? Barren lands. Living to work rather than working to live. But someone is speaking their truth. Secrets are coming out. And it releases them from an unhealthy situation. There is light at the end of the tunnel, but you have to speak your truth. Coming out of hell, if you like, because she's at the gate of hell. This is the tarot reader, the psychic, the medium. Those born on the 2nd or the 29th, living or past, date for your diary and address. Massively important in a positive way. But it is a warning that you have to be careful what goes in your mouth, as in diet and medication, and what comes out your mouth, as in words written or spoken. So it can be ill health, it can be finances, it can be relationships. But it suggests that there is being illness and somebody's coming out of that situation. We then have a man in uniform, which could be connected to this lady because she's, as I say, connected to the military. Or it could be a businessman that's had to leave people behind in the past to get where he's going. So he must have been ruthless at one time, but he's a good friend and he's generous. Could be a darker complexion person, could be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. There's an Aries at his side. But he's wealthy, he's generous, he's stable. And then there's the card that we seem to, it's just a recurring nightmare, this one, isn't it? Violent conflicts, a troublemaker working against you, who enjoys causing rows, possibly over children. They do not care about anyone or anything, they just want to seem to be winning, and they will cut their nose off to spite their face. If they have any success, it will not be real or lasting like this one, and they will live to regret it. So everybody will regret this, and there will be no winners. Mercury retrograde, you always have to be very careful of your words because things will get misunderstood. Messages won't be received. Things like that. It plays havoc with electrical things. Yeah, someone's in a mental prison over this with the mothers, mother-in-laws, mothers of the children. And there is always conflict. It never stops. Possibly with this new person. And again, they've already done it. They've doubled up. The same card again. These small arguments grow into bigger ones. So be very careful not to get pulled in to someone's drama. It's because somebody's lied and deceived and possibly even thieved and they're found out. So someone wants to return home. Somebody is waiting for you to come home. They know that you've been through it and that you've banged your head against a brick wall. You're battle weary and tired and you just want to go home. This could be the family home, the parental home, or it could be somewhere you call home, where your heart calls home. Tired of fighting. Problems within the home, instability, probably in a marriage, or no celebration, or a wedding that's put off because of the lockdown, obviously, or something like that, or something deeper. But it looks like somebody is maybe even losing their home, so returning to a place they used to live, or wanting to. Things are not what they seem. Somebody's been sat on the fence far too long, not making a decision, and now they don't know which end is up. It's a toss of the coin. You may have stayed too long in the indecision. 2 years is mentioned. Communication is very important. There may be an earth sign child, apologies, gifts, proposals even. But communication is very important, and the way that you do it. The High Priestess has told us that you have to be very careful of the words that come out of your mouth, written and spoken. So make sure that you stay positive, no negativity. The bottom of the deck, there is failure. Someone sees themselves as a failure, and bad advice that they've received from a doctor, priest or lawyer, or a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius older man. it's sometimes misdiagnosis. Maybe there's a doctor you can't trust for some reason. Or a lawyer. But it's usually a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. There you see, Spirit wants us to communicate, but the same card is there, no communication. So we've got barren lands, we've got a mental prison, and no communication. That's where we start. So where you're at is not a good place, either in finance, career, or emotional life. There is an injustice. It could be problems with the loins and the marital home. The number 11 is negative energy. It's an injustice. So those born on the 11th, living or past, date for your diary and address, massively important. So the 11 has been mentioned more than once. There is a lonely, divorced or widowed woman who's isolated herself. She is very clear and logical about what she wants, and she protects herself from the external. She's become very detached, protecting her heart, probably. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, female. And we have her partner there. So the partner's turned their back on her. There is issues with children or people coming back from the past. 6 months is mentioned. Again, we've got the King of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, older man. He's a generous friend, possibly a man in uniform. There's heartache, sorrow, loss and separation, heartbreak. So you're separated, maybe because of the lockdown, not necessarily for a third party. Temperance, so balance, returns to your life, overcoming of addictions. You've been through a lot and learnt from your mistakes, and now you have to have faith in yourself. There's no need to defend your actions. At the bottom of the deck, we have wishes and dreams not coming true because somebody refuses to face facts. Temperance is those born on the 14th, living or past, date for your diary and address. Massively important in a positive way. Problems within the home and family, maybe repairs needing doing. Again, we've got the lying deceiver, the thief. That hasn't been found out yet. Somebody, like I said, realising at the beginning, when I said about the Buddha, that money is not what your true purpose in life is about. Don't live to work, work to live. There is lack of commitment, the end to a marriage, perhaps a union. It was a smoking gun and it had to happen. It is ending, it is over. Someone needs to see this from a different viewpoint, or you may be inspired upon. And there is possibly a Leo or those born 1962, plus or minus 12 February to February, or someone familiar to you that is lying and deceiving and that you haven't found out yet. But there is communication again, that's 3 times. Communication is the key to a new beginning. Yeah, you need to imagine, so like manifest, like the magician, your reality, what it is you want, the sort of life you want. The change is coming. You may have been carrying a heavy burden and you may have to move house. But remember, we started with this and I knew there was a reason they was telling me about Buddha. All that glitters is not gold. Wealth is not the be-all and end-all. Someone has to go within and think very deeply about what really matters to them in life. The female, and it's the number 2, which is the High Priestess. Someone has to be very careful who they let sip from their cup, be it financially, emotionally, or psychologically. You find your own tribe in life, and someone with the bags packed may be moving. The giraffe is the animal totem, and the zebra. And now the flamingo, because you're between two worlds. That's living to work, and that's working to live. Pick up that back foot and go into a full life. Instead of existing, live your life. There may be a passing just because of that and the coughing, but I don't think so. Deep down, you know what this is about. So, breathe, take a deep breath, and go for it. Aquarius, deep down, you know. You know. So, and it's the star card. It's about wishes and dreams coming true. And we did have the star on one of the decks. Is it this one? At the bottom. Yeah, there. So, the best way to predict your future is to imagine it, invent it, stay positive. You will be tested and shown waves of the future. Yes, you will be tested. We have the Temperance there. This will be a sudden insight. Aquarians tend to have a natural aptitude for genius. Even those that are not geniuses are able to collect facts and knowledge far beyond the scope of the other signs. They can be stubborn in their views even when those views appear off the wall to others. They will fight long and hard. Now, we keep getting the fighting, don't we? Just to have the freedom to stay weird. And they will fight the rest of us to stay weird as well. Whatever is taboo or outlandish greatly appeals to them, if only in the imagination. So oftentimes they are artists, inventors, and speculative writers. They can be great humanitarians but not very practical. And inside every Aquarian, no matter how attractive or glamorous, lives a geek. The type who wants to escape this mundane world. At the same time, they can be rational and tend not to get caught up in emotional dramas. Hopefully not. An Aquarian is first a friend before a lover. Unless, of course, you insult them and disagree with their far-fetched ideas and your history. They're attracted to people of other ethnicities, so the darker complexion. So if they do decide to couple with someone, it's generally a person who does not come from the same background, or sometimes even the opposite gender. Through all relationships, Aquarians will develop and grow. There is always a disconnect quality. You can be assured friends and friendly alliances are about to help you achieve your goals. It's possible you are to meet a group of people or become involved with organisations that will support you in an unusual plan or idea. It may be like a family group, your tribe. But the emphasis will be placed, there's your tribe, on the crowd. So if you can consider yourself the idealist piper at the front of this group, you may find yourself dealing with persons from exotic or dissimilar backgrounds, those of a different ethnicity or culture than yours, from which you will learn greatly. Transgender people cross-dressing may possibly mean something to your world right now, and you will acquire different concepts and approaches through your dealings which are changing you. In the coming months, travelling to faraway exotic places is likely to factor in. Mastering a new technology and dealing with futuristic concepts will benefit to you. Whatever you accomplish in the near future will be based on how well you master these new ideas and approaches. You will be meeting up with cutting-edge people, those who challenge what you believe to be true or established, though it may not be. Many times, these people will be artists. With this card choice, you are likely mastering something new and untried, which leads you to greater awareness and success. This is about your future, about speculation, visions, science fiction, planets, stars, and outer space, outside time and space, aliens, technology, computers, bionics, electricity, phones, and other modes of communication. So Mercury retrograde, they're telling us to check our spam boxes and make sure everything's working properly. Flights of genius, arrogance, flightiness, bisexuality, cross-dressing, optical patterns, pewter, silver, aluminium foil, taboo, original ideas, free thinking, the unconventional, groups and associations, people of like mind, who may be of a different mind to the rest, a bohemian crowd going against the status quo, marching to the beat of a different drummer, daring to be uncommon, appreciating the odd and unusual, and taking on a challenge. This is about eccentricity, surprises, standing alone, the future technology, outer space, and mastery. So, like I've said recently so many times, I wouldn't be surprised if the aliens landed now. Thanks for listening.